All right, you guys, I gotta let you know, we lost all of our footage for our handrail thing. We got me starting it and the finished product up. I lost everything in the middle. I don't know if it was GoPro, some Dylan did, some I did. We don't know, it's gone though. But what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to walk back through this so you guys have a little bit of an idea of what I did off these wood jigs. You guys remember, these are my wood jigs for my actually you don't remember because I lost it all. These are the wood jigs I made for this handrail job that I had to do. I literally set this so, let me see. This is the top rail, this is the bottom rail. So it kind of goes flat, then downhill, then flat, then there's a gap. Then it goes flat, downhill on the second set of staircases. So there's two staircases I'm building rails for. So the main rail is gonna be 1.25" schedule 40 pipe. Same thing I kind of make a lot of stuff out of. But what I did here is I literally laid these 2x4s on his stairs, laid this right down the face of the stairs, right on the face of the concrete, and then I screwed them together to make these jigs. All these uprights I leveled with my level as it was sitting on the concrete, so I know where each one of my downrights is coming down. So there's obviously one there, there's one here, and one here. By leveling those to the earth, that tells me the angle that this has got to be to the actual rail itself. That actually ended up working out. I was a little iffy whether it was going to work or not. Everything lined up very well. You can also see every one of these black marks. This is the face of the stair, and in some cases I marked the face of the stair and the top of the tread on these angles, so I knew where the top of it was, because this was a little tough to figure out where to place this, because this 2x4 is so much thicker than this is the actual square tube. It's 1.5" square tube that were the down pipes. So what I first did is I cut this piece to length, and I cut this piece to length coming this way. I left them just a little bit long, and then what I did, I took my bevel angle sliding T-bevel, and I set it right here, and I got my angle of what this. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. So I set that, I got my angle, then I took this angle and I divided it in half. Why I divided it in half is so that these two tubes would come together at the right angle. If you just try to cut an angle on one of the tubes, it's gonna kind of offset it, so it's gonna look funny. So literally that's what I did. I took the angle, divided it in half, cut half on this pipe, half on that pipe. Everything lined up good. The next kind of issue that I ran into, I knew this was the front of the stair, and I needed my pipe right here, my upright going down. So my plate, which I made another one now so I can pre-show you guys. So these were the plates that mount into the side of the staircase on the end of these tubes. This is, I believe these are 5-inch. Let me double check. Yeah, they're 5-inch plates. So what I knew I wanted to do was make this 1 inch off the face, and I knew my edge was right there, so I measured back 1 inch, and then half that distance to set this upright. So half of 5 to place this plate in the correct spot. These ones were pretty easy because they were on the straight run right here, so I knew exactly how far it was. I think the handrail, we ended up setting it at, oh man, I wish I could remember the dimension now. I think he said he wanted it at 38, so I had to go 38. I think I set it at 44 because of the thickness of this, or the width of this plate. It was like 5 inches. So I went 5 inches plus the distance he wanted, 38, to set where this rail was going to be. I did have to subtract out half the diameter of this tube to get it right where he wanted it. The ones that were on the flat were pretty easy because you're just coming into a straight tube. It's a straight dimension. The ones that were down here, like this one here, it was at an angle. So I actually had to like kind of measure over from my face mark over my distance to find my center. Then I had to figure out this angle here so that everything lined up. This one was a little difficult. The other thing I will tell you, because everything on this rail was sloping downhill, so this is the upper rail, but it slopes downhill, then the rail goes, then it slopes downhill again. So when I put all these uprights in, everything looked a little off because nothing was a 90. So literally what I did is I measured from that one, measured all the way back, and I had this rail setting up to where I could measure to this line in my concrete. So I could measure from here back on the top part of this rail and the bottom part back to here to make sure that everything was lining up and it was square to itself, because each one of these rails should have been perpendicular to each other going this way, but the angle was just different to this rail because everything's going downhill. So yeah, that was two of the really big hurdles that I had to kind of figure out how to do. The other problem I had, you guys, in the middle of this, so I told you guys, well, in the video I did, I was gonna bin these back here to these tubes. Let me see if I can find another piece of tube. So, ooh, that one's really long. We'll just use this one for now. So you guys can kind of get an idea. You'll see it in the very end video. So if that was my upright and here's my plate. So that was my upright and my plate. What I did, since this was so far sticking out here, I took this end and I capped this in and I came down this way and tied it back into my leg over here to give the end of this some stability. I wanted to bend them like that. My air compressor was so cold that week, it actually froze up my air compressor line. Yeah, because we all know I don't have any insulation up there yet. So yeah, it froze my line. So I couldn't bend this, so I actually just ended up making them triangle back. And this is what I use, you guys. I get these at CarQuest now. I used to get them at Napa. Napa didn't have them. So I went to CarQuest and I bought them out. So these are, they're like a soft plug. They go inside of like the engine block, keep your coolant in the block. They have just a slight little dome to them, and they are awesome for capping pipe. So literally it just gives it just a little dome, and it's just the right size to where you get a perfect weld all the way around these things. So I ended up buying a whole bunch of these because I do use them all the time. Anytime I do handrails, usually I need a cap at some point. So I ended up buying all of them that they had, threw the rest in there, and I ended up using 4 on this scenario. But yeah, so just another little tip to kind of cap it off, because you guys, you don't want to leave it into your rail open, because you can imagine if you're running into an open pipe and that like spears somebody. At least if it has a cap on it, it's like blunt, and it's still gonna hurt, but it's not gonna like spear you. So yeah, that was the main things that I did on these rails, you guys. Like I said, I built both of them. Me and Dylan went up there and helped him mount them. The one thing, he had some anchors too that I drilled all these holes at 1/2 inch, and the anchors seemed a little big. So I was gonna open them all up, and we tried to drill one through there, and it actually threaded through the plate because the threads were actually a little bit bigger than the minor diameter of the bolt. It ended up working out really good. But other than that, the jigs worked out really good, you guys. I was very skeptical because it is wood. I threw them on my trailer and they bounced out of the mountains on my trailer for a long ways because he lives quite a ways up in the mountains. So it did end up working out, and like I said, I did end up just making a triangle back here. This one, since this was the bottom one, so let me go this way. So I made my angle here, and then on the end of this one, it just stuck out like that. I didn't have an angle or anything. And actually, you know what? I actually took off part of my jig. It actually goes straight right here. So on the end of the jig because I needed the piece of wood, you guys, I already took it apart. But on the end of this, I just capped it. And then on this one, this is the lower rail. So on the end, there was no angle. Here, it was just a cap. Because this is the opening between this rail and this rail down here. So he could get out to his bird feeder. Then on this end, on the end of this one, I had an angle coming back. Just from the end, coming back this way. And then I capped the end of this with one of those soft plugs. So it worked out really good. You guys will see in the very end video, the final product, temporarily bolted up. I did have just a little bit of lean on one of the uprights because the concrete was leaning. I'm not sure. I told him he could probably shim it with washers or grind the concrete back a little bit to bolt it in the rest of the way. It's just one of the things, like I can't compensate for the concrete when I'm not building on site, so it kind of is what it is. I told him if it really bugged him, I could cut that one off and tip it and then re-weld it, bring it back down here. He's like, oh no, I'll just put a shim behind it. So I'm pretty sure he either shimmed it or ground the concrete back just a little bit so it bolted up correctly. So other than that, man, they turned out really good. The jigs actually worked very well. So yeah, I wish we wouldn't have lost all the footage, you guys. It sucks. Like I said, I don't know how we lost it. If it was GoPro, us, Dylan, I don't know. I'm gonna blame Dylan. No, I'm not. It is what it is. It just kind of happens. We're lucky we've been doing this for a little while, and this is the first footage we've lost. So we got, I feel like we've been lucky up to this point. It just sucks because I wanted you guys to see a lot of that, how I built these rails. It was a little time consuming, but we did get it done, and it turned out way cool. The guy was very, very happy about it. So I'm sure his wife is loving it right now because it warmed up and now it's froze. So I'm sure she's using those rails like every day now to go down and feed her turkeys and all of her other animals. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, you guys. Sorry, I kind of just had to do a talk through and you didn't actually get to see me do a whole lot of work. I had a lot of me welding and grinding and a lot of footage that I lost. It was pretty good. But it is what it is. This is what we're kicking out right now. So we're gonna throw these off to the side. Pulled the Audi out. I'm pretty sure the turbo's gone in it, so I don't have the money to fix it right now. We're gonna have to wait a while. I'll slowly save up and try to get that done. But we're gonna get back on the beep now. I'm gonna try to get this horns cut off, off the front here today. And you guys will see that after this handrail video, hopefully. Ooh, sneak peek too. I bought a Harbor Freight conditioning tool, you guys. No, I got it for Christmas from my wife and kids. So I tried it a little bit. It works pretty good. So we're gonna try to get this stripped so I can get some Bondo on it. You can see I kind of did a little bit there. So yeah, we'll show you guys that in the next one. So keep watching. We're gonna get back on the beep now. It's Christmas break right now. I got like 11 or 12 days off, something like that. So I'm gonna try to get some work done on this thing. We'll see. I'm gonna at least try to get, I'm hoping to get this front end done over the break. Have the hood on it, grill mounted, horns cut away. We'll see though. You guys will see that on the next one, so keep watching. Appreciate it. All right, you guys. I got my handrail project done. I got them all painted. Ooh, I moved this one and I got my paint messed up. We'll have to wipe it again. But both my rails are done. They're sitting here somewhat kind of drying. Try not to mark them up. You can see I already scuffed the paint because I had to roll it over here because I needed room to work on my other project. Here's what I got to show you guys. So I did a lot of work and didn't record, but I did want to go over a couple things with you. I think I got most of it actually. Now that I think about it, I think I got most of it. This is the one thing I want to tell you. So if you look at the end of these rails, they're actually domed. This is what I use, you guys. I usually go to Napa and get them. Napa didn't have the size I needed and they only had 3 of them. I needed 4 of these. So I went to like 3 different places. I finally went to CarQuest and they had it. It's one of our local shops here. But what these are soft plugs or expansion plugs that go on the side of a block like a motor that keeps everything in the motor, all the coolant and blah, blah, or yeah, I think it's coolant that keeps it in there. I don't know a whole lot about it, but yeah, so they're just slightly domed. They're perfect for capping in the rails. And literally, you guys, the main reason I cap this is so you don't have an open pipe. You can imagine if you fell on that would just stab you. When you put this on here, it caps you into that, so it's like just perfect. Like, it's still gonna hurt to fall, I'm not gonna lie, because it's metal, but it's better than getting stabbed by an open tube. These are actually so you guys know inch and a quarter schedule 40 pipe is like inch and a half or inch and 5/8 on the outside. These are inch and a half plugs. Hopefully, if I can get out of the shadows, you guys can see the perfect little spot it leaves to weld. So you tack this in 3 spots, weld it all the way around, then you grind everything smooth, and it just gives the tube just a little bit of dome on the end so it looks finished. I really like the way it looks. I use these on my racer doors and all sorts of stuff. So when I went to CarQuest and they said they had some of these, I had already went to like 3 different stores. So when they pulled out the box and like, oh, we have 9 of them, how many you want? I just said, give me the whole box. Because I use them so much, you guys. Whenever I'm doing pipe and stuff, they're just handy to have around. So we're gonna put them right there for next time, for our next set of handrails or end caps on a bumper. That's the other place I'll use them, is like on the end cap of a bumper. They're perfect to cover those too. Excuse me. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any on that one. Oh yeah, I actually use them right here. That's on the end of my racer. That has the same thing. My front bumper has that cap in it right there. Yeah, I think the back ones have it too, now that I think about it. Yeah, I got them there, then I got them on the top of my doors. So yeah, they work really good, you guys. If you're just looking for a finished look, nothing too outrageous, it's perfect. So yeah, so my handrail project's done. It turned out pretty good. We're gonna see, hopefully everything lines up. Hopefully, like I said, you guys know I built them off wood jigs. They're still laying on the ground there. So I'm gonna keep the wood jigs until I get these mounted, and then I'll take my wood jigs apart. I'll burn all the little pieces and I'll stack up the other 2x4s. I'll use them somewhere. So excuse me. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that one, you guys. I'll show you when we get up there and we get them bolted up what they look like. It should turn out pretty good. It's gonna look awesome, I think. I wish these had lower rails on them too, and maybe a center run, but this is what they wanted. You know, the customer, they get what they want from me. Even if they want something out of code, I'll probably build it too. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would do it even if it was out of code. So yeah, so these are painted. We're gonna throw them on the trailer. Try not to bang them up going up there. It's a ways from my house. So I'll probably get those mounted, help him mount those in the next couple weeks. We're gonna go skiing tomorrow, have a little family fun. Then we'll get back to mounting these. And we're still working on the beep too. So yeah, I'll show you guys where I get on this when I get. All right, you guys, we got these handrails done. Today is Friday. I don't even know what today it is. But we're going to install these handrails. This guy I made these handrails for, I know him pretty well. Not like real well, but he's, let's see, it's my wife's really good friend's boyfriend. So I've done other work for him. I built him a snow plow. I fixed a trailer for him. Like, I've done a lot of work for him in the past. So like, I know him through Shanda and through business stuff. So we're gonna help him put these handrails up. I'm going to pick up Dylan right now. I got the handrails on the trailer. So we're gonna go. Actually, I got to get gas first. We got to get gas. Pick up Dylan. And I got to pick up a masonry bit. The guy actually just called me. He left his wallet at his house, and he lives way up there in the mountains. And he's down here at Bob's and was trying to buy a masonry bit. He asked if I could buy it for him. I'm like, yeah, you forgot your wallet. I'm not gonna make you drive all the way up there and back. So I'm just gonna buy the bit. I'm sure when he pays me for the rails, he'll just throw the extra 20 bucks in. So not a big deal. So we're gonna go get this done today. It's a lot warmer than it was last time. I think last time I told you guys it was like 19 degrees. It's above that right now. I don't currently have my phone out to tell you what temp is, but it's warmer. Still in my warmies, but we're gonna go get this done after we make a couple stops here. I gotta check tires too on my trailer, make sure the air is good. My air compressor line froze up. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We were gonna go get a Christmas tree last weekend. Went to fire up Tundra, fired it up, pulled it over next to my little shop. Wouldn't start again after that. It just would like turn over, like it wasn't getting gas. So I assume my fuel pump went out in my Tundra, which is surprising because it only has 80,000 miles on it. It actually blew the relay. I pulled the relay out for the trailer lights, plugged it in the fuel pump, put the fuel pump in the trailer lights, and it fired right back up. So I did order relays. They're gonna be here Tuesday, I think. So yeah, so I'm a little iffy with the Tundra right now, like whether it's gonna pop another fuse or if it was actually the fuse or if the fuel pump really is going. So hopefully we make it there and back. We'll see. It's quite a ways. I'd hate to try to figure out a way to trailer this trailer and truck home. So hopefully she keeps running, but I do have relays coming. So all right, I'm gonna get on the road here and start driving, you guys. So I'll catch you when we get up there. All right, you guys, we got this handrail mounted enough to where he can finish drilling the holes. We helped him get the first 3 in. It turned out really good. It looks really awesome. So here's our scenario right here. So all the way up, so we got both of them in. We got just a little slight lean, but we'll be able to fix that with washers. It's just leaning a little bit this way, but not too bad. Yeah, so we can either shim this or grind that a little. It's just the concrete's not perfect, but it's nothing you actually need to worry about. But yeah, see, now you guys can see we got our gap so we can get out to his bird feeder. That was the whole reason for that. And comes all the way up, and now you guys can see why it's extended out. So as they're coming out of their house, they can grab this rail, because this whole sidewalk goes, it slants downhill, and it goes down, and then it slants again down the next set. But yeah, it turned out pretty awesome. I like it. So we're gonna call this one a wrap. We're gonna let Matthias drill the rest of these holes because it's cold and I gotta go pick up kids. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.